TechCrunch held its second Startup Battlefield Africa in Lagos on Tuesday this week, and Uganda's MSCAN, a startup that develops portable mobile ultrasound devices, emerged the winner, while South Africa's Better, a virtual banking experience powered by the smartphone and data, was the runner-up. MSCAN will therefore receive $25,000 in cash plus a trip for two to compete in Startup Battlefield at TechCrunch's flagship event, Disrupt, in 2019. Dr. Prosper Ahimbisibwe, co-founder and director MSCAN Uganda, spoke to us a little earlier on the achievement and more.
The story behind MSCAN is one that is of personal experience for most of the team. We actually came up when we were graduate students. We actually undergraduate students, medical students at Makerere University, and we used to go in communities. We used to see the challenges, in our community experience programs, and from that it built up as an idea, and we entered an incubator, and so it is more. MSCAN is a culmination of our experiences as a medical students who want to create an impact. So I think when we shared that story at TechCrunch Africa, we are lucky that we were able to get support, and I think for us the award, was really great to just get for people to reinforce our efforts in trying to curb the maternal mortality in Africa.
Right. So we believe that what you do is offer affordable ultrasound services. Are you able to just take us through how this works? Because one of the things that we see is that those people who are seeking ultrasound, services are able to get that through your app. How does it work?
Yes, yes. Of course, the background is for us MSCAN. It's we have the traditional ultrasound machines, which are very big and they are very power consuming. Okay, and these machines cannot work in Africa, where a majority of our mothers deliver from resource limited settings, and that's where most of the mortality happens. We lose about 830 mothers, and so our portable devices actually what you need is just to buy the device, and we can send you the software over your phone, and you're able to move anywhere you want. You're able to go to a certain village and scan mothers in their antenatal. So it's just as simple as a probe, which is an MSCAN probe that you just plug into your tablet, computer, and the software can actually be wired to you via mobile, via email and other sharing platforms. So it is as simple as that, and the power of having that ultrasound and being able to scan a mother, and be able to tell that this mother has a complication, that she might have a difficult birth, maybe the baby is big, or there's a cord around the neck of this baby, and her pushing she could lose her life, and the baby could go as well. So having the power of having our device as MSCAN, and just the mobility and the power consumption is what has managed for us to be able to deliver ultrasound screening services to our mothers. Yes.
So one thing is for sure, that probably this is that time for you to actually bask in the glory of your project. But the question now is, what next? Because some people, especially startups like this one, when they become successful in this way, they end up selling off their stakes to highest bidder who comes up and says, you know what, I want your app, I want your startup company. What next for you? Where or how far do you want to go with this?
Yeah, I think the amount of volumes of calls that we have received after the award has been overwhelming. I think for me that is the strongest message that has hit us, that there's been validation of the problem we're trying to solve. That this is across Africa. And for me, as also a Pan-African, I believe that this is something that the potential of MSCAN. We have started in Uganda. We've scanned over 300 mothers and gotten over 40 complications. And this is a story that resonates across Africa. So for us, moving forward, we're thinking We want to expand to, already we're in Kenya, we are moving to Rwanda, but we feel like MSCAN want to impact our continent where we're actually having the biggest maternal mortality. So I know scaling up, I think, of course, there are challenges in scaling up, there are opportunities as well, because we need to build a bigger team. We need to have people who buy into the vision of MSCAN, people are also enthusiastic as us, and that might take a process, and time to happen, but that's 2019 is for MSCAN going global and actually going Africa and impacting in Africa. So we already had our IP secured across, across the East African countries. We want to have that for Africa, and that will allow us to expand and be able to create more impact. So for us, the next steps are very critical for a young company, but they are the most, they're the most challenging because now it's going to be business, and we're going to be going against some big giants, and I think the next step might need more of all of us, because I believe that this journey of MSCAN is a journey for both. The journey to save pregnant mothers is a journey that everyone on the continent should be a part of and should support. So we're calling on for more support and funding to be able to scale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Prosper, before I let you go, probably the final question, I want us now to move and talk a bit about Uganda in general when it comes to startup companies that are dealing in tech. Just like you, we've seen MTN Uganda launching a $27,000 startup fund. How do you plug into this, or what sort of environment do you have in Uganda that allows or doesn't allow startup companies like yours to thrive? Talk to us a bit about the environment there for startup companies like yours in Uganda.
I think the startup companies in Uganda, it's a bit, for now, I think we are creating the trend. It has been there, but I think it was more of novel people, pushing out their ideas, and of course, we are having actually, we are lucky to have a couple of innovation hubs. So part of us, we're very grateful to Outbooks, which is one of the hubs here that incubated us in our first year. But I think for me, I'm liking the spirit because we are having more funding. We are having, especially for startup companies that that are invested in impact. I think that we also received funding from UNFPA Uganda for our first seed funding. So I believe it is. I think the funding is there, but I think startups also need to strategically position themselves, okay, to be a part of this global agenda, because I believe that as much as we are innovating, we should innovate, with a common agenda to, currently we are working with Sustainable Development Goals. But I believe, I think I'm loving the way it is happening. Most of the funding is from private entities. Companies are coming out, and companies like MTN have been at the heart of innovation in Uganda.